Well, I'm going to put this message out there to Mr. Edward Hubbard. Dear man, with a lot going on, and your name has been spreading like wildfire. And, moth to the flame, burned by the fire is one saying. You fight fire with fire, you're going to get burned. And my favorite of all come from the Bible. The truth shall set you free indeed. It's as simple as that. But to come onto a social media and say something like suicide and just other stuff that gets under people's skin, including myself, I think it's really dirty, man. Very dirty, because when somebody speaks about suicide, either they're looking for attention, asking for help, or they actually do it. And I'm not saying, man, that you're a bad person. No. Nobody else says you're a bad person. It's just how you handled the whole circumstances up here on YouTube. You handled it in the way that a child would handle it. It's sad to see a grown man, probably middle-aged. I'm not saying you're old, because I'm not saying that you're, but there's only so much, sir, that people are going to take from a person. And also, when you have more than a couple people going to you, and it's a lot of people gets you. Inmates, everybody look at the person that I'm not saying they're against you, but it makes them look good and you look bad. I mean, yes, I'm not going to sit there and lie to you. Things used to affect me really bad. When somebody calls hate on me. I mean, I don't like it either. Well, I didn't used to anyway. I've gotten to the places, whatever. Not everyone is going to like you, and not everyone's going to hate you. You're just going to have to take the bad with the good. It's just as simple as that. I mean, you should know that by now, that you're going to get people that don't like you. You're going to get people that does like you. That's part of life. That's part of being human. I don't think with the way, if you live a life of knowing who God is, You're not supposed to hate the person. You're supposed to hate how they are. Mr. Edward, I never really looked at anybody as saying they ever hated you. I never heard that. Never heard it. Never heard that at all. I don't think a lot of people like your actions. Two things that you cannot, stand, like the hate comments. I mean, come on. Not everyone's going to love you. You get on any kind of social media or anywhere, as a matter of fact. Not everybody's going to drop down to their knees and love you. I'm sorry. I mean, that's part of life. And whatever happened in your personal life, maybe there was trouble there before you started YouTube. I'm just saying, because, I mean, whatever happened, like you and your fiance, she's the one, you and her were in a relationship together. No one else was in a relationship with her. No one else is in a relationship with you. That was between you and her. And I feel like that should have been kept between you and her. Whatever will be, will be. Your job. I feel like, as far as like your job and your family or your loved ones or whatever, if they're not infatuated with YouTube, why put them in depth in it? Is what I'm saying. I don't put my husband up there. He's not real big on YouTube. And I don't try to put him into too many of my videos, because I know I don't think he's really used to having a camera too much around him or on him that much. So I try to push away from that. I have to give him his space. But that's what I'm saying, Mr. Edward. You want your space, but other people want their space too when it comes to things. We all have the will and the free speech in hand when we're here in the countries that expresses their free speech. And if we cannot express our freedom of speech, but you can, that don't make us feel any better. We all have our own opinions, and just because you don't like certain people's opinions, that don't mean you should thrash at them. Not everyone's going to like my opinions, but they're mine, just like yours or yours. But you got to take the bull by the horns. When you're in YouTube, you got to take the bull by the horns. You have to take the good with the bad. But if you can't take the bad, just like other people said, maybe YouTube is not your cup of tea. Maybe it's not. I'm sorry. I mean, I hope you have a great life outside of YouTube. I mean, I hope the best for you. But at the same time, don't criticize anybody else for your personal life outside of YouTube. Maybe you and your fiance had problems even before you got on YouTube. So you can't just jump right to somebody else and say, oh, it's your fault, it's your fault, it's your fault. You said this, you said that. You done this, you done that. Why? And I feel like I always was taught if the truth hurts, so be it. And if you can't stand the heat, get out of the kitchen. That's just some of the things. I mean, I would think by now you already knew some of these metaphors. And you know where you stand in your life. But I hope the best for you and in your life. And that's all I got to say.